Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And in today's lesson, we've got News Watch, and we've got a couple of news stories that actually come from London, or England to be specific. And so I think some of these news stories are important for the people of England, but, what's going on there can be applied to what's happening here in Taiwan as well. They're trying to deal with air pollution in London.
Good.
By using coffee beans. We'll find out what that's all about. And they're also using vending machines to help out homeless people there.
I would love to improve pollution everywhere. Sometimes our air here in Taiwan gets pretty awful, especially when it's coming over from China, and you look out and it's really smoggy and you can't see the blue sky. Yeah, I'd love to improve pollution, clean it up a little bit. Vending machines are starting to offer lots of different things. There's a vending machine I just saw on 101 that's kind of interesting. Seems like it's more like a Japanese vending machine that has things you would never think about purchasing in a vending machine. So we're going to look at this vending machine here in London that's trying to help the homeless. So that's a nice thing. And like Tom said, we can apply these same sort of ideas to countries around the world.
Sure.
Yeah. So let's get started. We're going to read through the two stories, and then we're going to talk about them separately.
London's buses are bursting with beans. Beans have long been known for their ability to produce emissions. Now that talent is being put to good use. London buses have started having oil made from coffee beans added to their fuel, which makes it last longer. This is because London has heavy air pollution, and its leaders are trying to make the city greener. The plan relies on the great number of coffee shops in London. After their coffee beans are used to make drinks every day, the waste beans are collected, turned into oil, and added to bus fuel. This reduces trash and makes the vehicle's exhaust cleaner, improving the air quality, which is better for people's health and makes London a more pleasant place to live in. This is all part of a larger project to cut down on traffic fumes. Another solution includes powering buses with hydrogen and possibly other waste such as cooking oil in the future. If effective, these ideas could spread to other countries that want to combat smog caused by public transportation.
Vending machines to help the homeless. A British organization has come up with a new approach to help the homeless. In the city of Nottingham, the charity Action Hunger has installed vending machines filled with donations of food, clothing, and other supplies. Local homeless people are issued special key cards, permitting them to access those items. The machines were designed by a local law student who was concerned by homelessness in the city. The machine doesn't merely provide the homeless with essentials, it also obliges them to meet with local charities to receive counseling. There, professionals can assist them with locating hostel accommodations and medical care or finding a job, thus helping them out of homelessness. The project has the side benefit of eliminating food waste, as the food is donated by shops and would otherwise have been thrown away. Action Hunger plans to roll out the innovative program to other cities, aided by lottery funding. Furthermore, it has been approached by charities around the world that are interested in adopting the system.
Okay, everybody, it's our News Watch unit for today. Let's talk about the buses in London. They are bursting with beans. Beans, of course, are things that are, I guess they're technically seeds, and we eat a lot of them here in Taiwan. Of course, we've got red beans and green beans and stuff like that.
The long beans. I love their long Chinese beans.
Yeah, Sijido, I guess, Four Seasons beans?
Yeah,
Is that what we call them in English? I'm not quite sure. But
Yeah, we don't have the long Chinese beans naturally in the U.S. U.S. We have to import them. But yeah, we just have the short green beans. They have those long green beans that are cut up. Yeah, we call them 四季豆.
Very tasty. But of course, another bean that we use quite often is a coffee bean. And you might grind your own beans at home to make fresh coffee. So beans have long been known for their ability to produce emissions. As you know, if you've walked into a coffee shop before, you are overwhelmed with that very strong smell of coffee.
Yum.
I guess we're referring to those as emissions. You could also refer to that smell as fumes, which is kind of a gas in the air that you can't really see. But emissions basically refers to something that is emitted from something or is let off of something. We can talk about emissions from car exhaust, for example. And, they're supposed to have certain standards for emissions and things like that. So, yes, coffee or beans have these emissions. And now that talent is being put to good use. The talent that beans have for producing emissions.
Right. The verb is, as Tom was talking about, is emit, E-M-I-T, and it just discharges or lets something out of something else. Something can emit a sound, emit a smell. I don't drink coffee myself, but I love that smell. That when they're brewing coffee that you get a whiff of. Oh, it's so yummy. Now that talent is being put to good use, so they're trying to use those emissions for a good purpose, you could say. London buses have started having oil made from coffee beans added to their fuel. I don't know who thought of this. It's so interesting. So they're taking those emissions, and you need to use the plural form, those, because emissions is plural. I don't think we usually say emission. You almost always will see it in the plural form, emissions, your car emissions. I'm going to go get my car checked to see if I, go over the limit of emissions that you can have, the pollution, the exhaust that comes out from your car. Well, they've started using oil made from coffee beans, and they put this into the fuel that our cars run on. Fuel can be different things. Food is fuel for human bodies. But when we see it like this, it's usually gasoline that's made, petrol, as they say in British English, that's used to power cars and buses and vehicles. So they're adding some of this oil from coffee beans to the fuel, and that's making the fuel last longer, which is so interesting.
And, of course, emissions have to do with automobile exhaust, as you said, and it just dawned on me. It just hit me over the head what the author is referring to here in the first sentence. Beans have been known to produce emissions.
Funky,
do you get it? If you eat beans, of course, you will produce gas. Just realize that. I feel so stupid. I didn't realize it when I first read it. But in any case, there's the joke for you.
You should know this really well, Tom.
I know. I am a big fan of flatulence. But in any case, the joke is now taken here. And we're talking about beans here. And I guess you can add beans to fuel to make it last longer.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
I know in the U.S., I don't know if they still do this, but there's ethanol added to gasoline.
Which is corn, comes from corn.
Yeah, when my dad ran a gas station a long time ago, we sold gasohol, which is basically gasoline with alcohol added to it, gasohol. It wasn't very popular. Some people liked it, some people did.
Interesting.
But in any case here, this is because London has heavy air pollution, and its leaders, the leaders of London there, people in the city council, etc., are trying to make the city greener and to reduce emissions from buses. Now, the plan relies on a great number of coffee shops in London. To rely on also means to depend on. If they don't have these coffee shops in London, or if they don't have their cooperation, this plan cannot work.
I wonder if they have as many coffee shops in London as we have here in Taipei. I know they like to drink tea. Primarily, that's the drink of choice for the Brits, at least. But coffee has more caffeine and kind of perks you up a little more. So,
I heard it's about 50-50.
That makes sense. So they've got a lot of coffee shops there in London, too. So after their coffee beans are used to make drinks every day, they go ahead and just use them normally. They use the waste beans, or the beans that are left over after grinding up the beans and then brewing the coffee. They use the waste and they collect it. And then that's when they turn it into oil. They probably press it a little bit more after that. And then they add that waste from coffee beans to bus fuel. Not yet to cars, but to the buses. As anyone knows who's seen anything that's been filmed in London, or if you've gone there on a trip, you know they've got lots of those double-decker buses, 2 levels of buses. I've seen them. I've seen some here in Taipei, too, travel tourist buses.
Yep.
They're kind of fun. They're really fun if the weather's good. I'd sit up on top. So they're using these to add to bus fuel, and hopefully that's reducing the pollution in London. I didn't think the pollution in London was that bad. Maybe it's worse in winter, though, when there's more rain and there's not as much wind to blow it out of the city.
Well, I suppose people have different standards for air pollution. But in any case, yes, this oil, I could say coffee grinds. That's what you get after you grind your coffee beans, coffee grinds. So they gather all the grinds and then they process it, I suppose. They turn it into oil, add it to the bus fuel. And this reduces trash. It reduces the waste of the coffee grinds and makes the vehicle's exhaust cleaner. Exhaust, as we said, is what comes out of a vehicle as waste into the air, causing air pollution. But this improves the air quality, which is better for people's health and makes London a more pleasant place to live in.
If you live in a place, you actually live there. Just generally speaking, you could say, you know, I love the sunshine in the state of Arizona. It makes it a great place to live. But if you live in a place, that's where you reside. You make your life there. So I think London's a pretty great place to live already, but if you make the air a little cleaner, it's even better. It's a big, big city, just like most big cities. There's more pollution, and it makes it nicer. It's especially obvious to the British folks who live in London that they have pollution when they go out to the countryside, which is gorgeous in England, as we know.
Indeed, they love their countryside there with the castles and the old houses from the 12th century or whatever. So I guess they expect to have clean air there. And this is all part of a larger project to cut down on traffic fumes. To cut down on something means to reduce something. Here, would you like to have a cigarette? No, thanks. I'm trying to cut down on smoking. I'm trying to reduce my smoking. I would like eventually to quit. And here they're trying to reduce or cut down on traffic fumes. Fumes, of course, are gases produced by substances. Usually you can't see them. If you can see the fumes, then it's usually smoke. But in this case, they're fumes. Like if they're doing some remodeling inside an office or something, oftentimes they use this kind of glue, and it produces fumes. And when they do remodeling in an office and I'm there, I always get a headache from breathing in those fumes.
Oh, they just sprayed my apartment building for bugs, and the fumes were so strong. I literally had to go to the doctor to get my lungs to open again. So be careful. Sometimes you can't see those fumes, but you might be allergic to them or it might affect you strongly. I can tell for people who have asthma, 气喘, cleaning up pollution is going to help them a lot more too. So another solution includes powering buses with hydrogen and possibly using other types of waste such as cooking oil, things we deep fry things in, that's cooking oil in the future. If effective or if it works, these ideas could spread to other countries that want to combat smog caused by public transportation. There's a difference between fog and smog. Some people get them confused. A fog comes down, or fog is the word we use when a cloud lowers from the sky and it's close to the ground and it's hard to see through it. That's fog. A smog is fog with dirty, polluted air combined in with it. So that's the kind of air you don't want, that smog. If you combat something, you fight against it.
You do. You fight smog, and smog, of course, is smoke and fog mixed together, hence the word smog. Okay, so there you go. Maybe they could consider doing that here in Taipei or Kaohsiung or Taichung or whatever.
Sure.
There are lots of coffee shops. Maybe you could add the fuel, add those grinds to the fuel or something and reduce pollution. Who knows? But let's move on now to our next story in just a couple of seconds. But first, we're going to take a break and listen to our Chinese teacher.
Hi everyone, my name is Jenny. 好，今天我们要看的是第5单元，这里有2篇很有趣的新闻。看第一篇，内容谈的是 beans。什么是 beans？ 这边指的其实是咖啡豆。怎么说 London's buses 公车跟这个咖啡豆有关呢？故事是这样的，他说到了，其实呢，我们知道这个豆类本来就可以有产生排放物的功能。那这边说到底咖啡豆是怎么拿来好好的用它？下面就说到伦敦，它现在竟然开始用咖啡豆制成的油，然后放到燃料里面。首先这句话有几个地方细节要看一下。他说到 started开始这样做，后面当然你可以用 start to do something, start doing something， 而这里是 having， 它用的是动名词。不过在 having 后面更重要的就是我们知道 have 它可以当实义动词，所以说如果你用实义动词 have somebody do something， 你会想到原动，可是这个地方是说他用咖啡豆制成的油，然后把它们给加到燃料里，换句话说，这个油是被加到燃料里，所以如果仔细看这里一个 added added， 这可是过去分词哦，所以也就是告诉大家 have 这个实义动词接受词，受词后面其实它有一个补语功能的 added， 也就是过去分词。那这个过去分词是因为它表达被动的含义。我们继续往下，下面呢，当然说到这个计划要用到咖啡豆，所以他就要仰赖伦敦他们的咖啡店里面每天他用掉的咖啡豆，这些豆渣被收集起来，然后呢，最后再转化成油，放到巴士的燃料里。当然这样子的话可以减少汽车排出的废气，让环境更好。不过我们要看这个段落里面他最后说到的这句他说到 makes London a more pleasant place to live in。 我们要注意的就是后面这个 to live in。 当然 to 是个不定词，我们知道不定词片语其实它有一种功能是形容词，放在名词后面当形容词所以像这边就说它是一个什么样的地方，是一个更舒适的地方，让大家能住的舒适的地方。所以 to live in 这个不定词片语做形容词用，修饰 place。那重点在为什么要 in？ 当然想一想 live 要讲住在哪里，介系词就是要用 in， 那这个 in 是不能省的。再举一个例子吧，如果你说这张椅子是你要坐的， I need a chair to sit on， 一样的道理， to sit on the chair 这个 on 是不能省的。下面这一段最后就告诉大家，当我们提到了这么多，还有别的解决方式来改善我们这种空污的问题吗？有的，不过像加氢气啦，或用其他的食用油啦，这些等等，假如说有效的话，看到这个 if effective， 这其实是一种省略的句法，主词动词都不见咯。我们常常用到的像 if possible, if necessary, if yes, if no， 其实都是类似的用法。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back, guys. We're talking about our next story. Let's look at the headline. The headline is the title of any news story. It says, vending machines to help the homeless. And as we've mentioned in the past, but I'll mention again, a headline isn't a complete sentence. It's usually missing perhaps some prepositions or articles, definite articles, things like that. It needs to be shorter. So what's a vending machine? We have a lot of them here in Taiwan. I noticed the most in either the parks I've been into, they have water for sale, or soft drinks sometimes, but also in the airport. That's where I get a bottle of water. It's a little cheaper than going to one of the restaurants. So vending machines to help the people who are homeless living on the street. That's what this is about.
Mostly the vending machines in Taiwan sell beverages, but I understand they sell lots of other things
Nowadays,
in Japan.
Yeah.
Or in other places.
101, I told you, new vending machines.
Indeed, I should go there and check it out. But again, we're in Britain here, the UK, in England there. A British organization has come up with a new approach to help the homeless. If you come up with something, that means you think of an idea. So they've come up with a new idea or a new approach, a new solution to the problem. A new method to help homeless people, people who do not have homes for whatever reason.
Right. So in the city of Nottingham, a lot of Americans would say Nottingham. That's incorrect. It's Nottingham. And they just kind of drop that last syllable. There's a charity called Action Hunger that was started by a local law student. So Action Hunger has installed vending machines filled with donations of food, clothing, and other supplies. When you donate something or donate something, it just means you give something to a charity. It can either be just a sum of money or it can be actual things like a car that you don't want anymore, food, clothing, those things that they can give away to people who are needy. So local homeless people are being issued special key cards. Kind of looks like a little key card that lets you into a building. If you're in a secure building, you'll have a key card. It looks kind of like a credit card too, a special key card. It's like having permission to do something with this key card. This key card lets homeless people access those items. So there's probably a vending machine. Instead of putting in money like a dollar bill or coins, you actually insert that key card and it lets them choose things that they want from the vending machine.
I'm imagining those cards are like the Easy card or something.
Yeah.
They swipe the card and then they can get something. And, of course, these machines are filled with donations. A donation, of course, is something that someone else gives someone else to help them out. A donation of books, for example. You can donate your clothes or whatever to various charities. And these machines have food, clothing, and other supplies. And, of course, as we said, they've got the cards to access those items to be able to get at those items. They press a button or something and out comes a shirt or something like that. Now, the machines were designed by a local law student who is concerned by homelessness in the city. Yes, in a lot of cities in the West, of course, there are lots of transients around, homeless people, and sometimes they hassle you for money and stuff like that. And he was concerned, gee, there are a lot of homeless people. We should do something for them. So this lawyer, or this law student, I should say, came up with an idea for these machines. And the machine doesn't merely or doesn't only provide the homeless with essentials. It also obliges them to meet with local charities to receive counseling. So it not only provides them with essentials, but also obliges them or requires them to talk to some counselors and get that counseling. To oblige here as a verb just means it requires you to do something. You're supposed to do it. You can say this as a way of thanks to somebody. Oh, thank you. Much obliged. In other words, you did me a favor. I owe you one.
Yeah, you don't hear it so much anymore, but that's a very nice, polite way to say, thank you to someone. My pleasure, much obliged. Yeah, it's nice to hear that sort of English. You can use obligate too. It also obligates them to meet with local charities. And actually, if I have a choice between oblige and obligate, I would use obligate, but they're both used, so you should learn them both. So you kind of make someone morally obligated to do something, morally bound. They need to do it. They should do it. If someone helps me or gives me a favor, does me a favor, I feel obliged to give them a favor in return or do a favor in return, or I feel obligated to help them as well. So they need to meet with these local charities in return for the special key card. And they receive counseling. Someone who's a therapist will sit down with them and talk through some of their problems, maybe help them get their life back in order. Fortunately, some of these homeless, quite a few of them are mentally ill, so I'm not sure counseling is going to do a lot. But for those who are just struggling with, turning their life around, maybe they're addicted to drugs, maybe they can get some of this help. Now, these professionals, these therapists, these mental health professionals who are doing the counseling, they can assist them with locating hostel accommodations. A hotel is not the same as a hostel. A hostel is something that young college kids, or when you're first out of high school, maybe you're traveling for a year, you probably know about a hostel. It's a place you can stay for a very low price. You're usually in a room with 6 to 8 other students sleeping, sharing a bathroom. It's very cheap. Accommodations would include a place to sleep, and sometimes it might include a place where you can get some food or maybe cook your own stuff in a kitchen.
Or bathe or wash your clothes or whatever. They could also get medical care, and they can also help them find a job.
Good.
And help them get out of homelessness, maybe find a place to live.
Yeah, that's all really good. So the project has the side benefit. This isn't the direct benefit. It's sort of, a benefit they didn't maybe even think about. But side benefit is eliminating food waste. If you eliminate something, you get rid of it. So they're getting rid of food waste. It's horrible, the amount of food we waste. I'm guilty. Sometimes I buy too much at the grocery store and I don't get to eat it before it gets bad. So instead of throwing food away into the garbage before it gets to that point, they can use it for these vending machines. So the food is donated by shops and maybe even some grocery stores that would otherwise have been thrown away. Otherwise just means in other situations they just would have gotten rid of it because they didn't have anyone to give the food to.
And I guess the name of this program is Action Hunger. So this program or this organization plans to roll out or introduce the innovative program to other cities, aided by lottery funding. Innovative means it's new, it's novel, it hasn't been done before. Lottery funding, people buy lottery tickets, and maybe some of that money goes to this program. Furthermore, or in addition, it has been approached by charities around the world that are interested in adopting the system. They've heard about this program and they think, hey, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
We'd like to try it too. Can we talk to you so you can tell us how it works?
We wish them a lot of luck with this. Right now we got to wrap up, so we're going to listen to our Chinese teacher one more time.
好，我们继续来看第二个新闻。这第二则新闻跟街友 the homeless 有关。我们知道 the 再加一个形容词用来指人，那是复数的哦。那 homeless 指的是无家可归的人，也就是街友们。要帮忙街友们，英国有一个方法，就是用 vending machines， 这些是所谓的自动贩卖机。怎么用自动贩卖机来帮助街友呢？所以这个新闻也很有趣。首先我们看这个文章里面说，他们用了一个新的 approach， a new approach。 什么叫 approach？ 如果当名词来用，它就是 a new way， a new method， 也就是一个新的方式。那这个慈善机构它叫做 Action Hunger， 也就是饥饿行动。那他们想到这个办法，就是在贩卖机里面摆一些捐赠的食物，或者是衣服、生活用品等，然后呢就会发给街友们电子卡。那我们看到这个地方提到电子卡，说到 special key cards permitting them to access those items。 这个 permitting 我们稍微注意一下，因为它其实就是省略的一个 that， 你可以变成 that permits， 也就是你可以改成所谓的像形容词子句、关系子句一样，但是 that permits 你去掉的 that， 把 permit 改成 VING， 就变成了 permitting。下面这一段继续说明了这个机器怎么样的处理它，怎么样的用它来帮助无家可归的人。不过我们最后看到这一段下面这个段落里面，他最后还提到了这个慈善机构他们所做的事情，整个计划不只说帮助街友，当然也可以让店里面有些食物不要被浪费。假如你就丢了，那真的是可惜啊。这里用到了一个字 would otherwise have been thrown away， 这个 otherwise 它其实是一个副词，否则的话那就被丢了。最后呢，我们说到这个 Action Hunger 这个慈善机构呢，它基本上它这个计划不是只有在英国这里而已哦。他说到可能会到别的国家，世界各地，只要有兴趣的都会跟他接洽。谈到这个字 approach 用了第二次，前面的 approach 当名词，代表方法，这个地方的 approach 当动词，当接触，当接洽。好，我们讲解就到这边结束，我们下次见。
That's it for today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And here's hoping that all of your news is, pretty good news.
Great news.
Great news. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie. See ya.
Goodbye.